Good afternoon and welcome to DuPage Medical Group Field in Joliet, Illinois. It is the finale of the CCAC regular season today, and we've got two games coming your way. It's Judson University taking on the host University of St. Francis. Terry Bonadonna with you for the next several hours as the Saints try to bounce back from a Game 1 loss in this series to Judson. Yesterday at Judson, the Eagles were 10-0 victors, and this team comes into today playing some of their best baseball of the season, and they've been one of the best teams in the conference all year. So the Saints have their work cut out for them. It's a beautiful Saturday afternoon, senior day here in Joliet, as the freshman Ryan Daly takes the ball and heads to the mound to get us started. He'll be facing this lineup for Judson. Adam Zaratsky leads things off playing left field. Batting second, shortstop Cameron Pauly. Alex Spang is due up third. Spang is today's catcher. Hitting cleanup, center fielder Dane Frederick. And here we go. First pitch of the game is taken for strike one. We're underway. 12:04 p.m. Central Daylight Time. It's 0-1 on the left fielder, Zaratsky. Daly working quickly, offers the next one. Again, a fastball in the zone, and it's strike two on Zaratsky. Adam Zaratsky, a .319 hitter with 5 homers and 26 RBIs on the season. Right-handed hitting outfielder, lines this one hard out to left field, long way back. It's over the head of Sean Harper. Skips up against the wall. Zaratsky heads to second base on an 0-2 pitch. It's a leadoff double. Taking a look at the rest of the starters for Judson today. Batting fifth is the second baseman, Tommy Moran. Hitting sixth, their designated hitter, Jared Krominga. First baseman, Joshua Taylor, hits seventh. Alec McLennan hits eighth at third base, and batting ninth, right fielder Benjamin Nelson. Cameron Pauly takes ball one outside. It's the first miss of the strike zone today for Ryan Daly, with a man at second base and nobody out in the top of the first inning. 1-0 on Pauly. Daly's next toss misses low and outside. 2 balls and no strikes on Pauly, junior infielder from Glenview, Illinois. He entered today's game with a .304 batting average, 3 home runs. 26 runs knocked in, trying to pick up number 27 right now. So he hits this one a mile high out to center field. Luke Ketchum backs up on it, waits for it to come down and makes the catch. Zaratsky tags from second and makes it into third base standing up. It's a productive out for Cameron Pauly as Zaratsky moves to third base with only 1 down for Alex Spang. That ball hit a long way into the air. Being helped out a little bit, I think, by the wind. Pushed it a little bit deeper than the Saints would have liked. It allowed Zaratsky to make it into third base pretty easily. Alex Spang, the catcher, takes a breaking ball over the inside corner for strike one. Ketchum waited under that ball for a long time, waiting for it to come down. Zaratsky had plenty of time to size it up and get himself ready to tag. Spang takes a ball low, 1-1. Alex Spang is just a sophomore. The slugging catcher awaits the pitch from Daly and swings through a fastball for strike two. 398 average for Spang, who ranks second on the team with 6 home runs and first with 37 RBIs. He's got a .577 slugging percentage. That is tops on the Eagles. He grounds this one to short. It'll get a run in. As Noah Carraro grabs it and throws to first for out number 2. Zaratsky crosses the plate. It's 1-0 Judson. Good situational hitting for the Eagles there. They get the leadoff double from Zaratsky as he hits it over the head of Sean Harper in left field. And then a fly out and a ground out, and that's enough to get the run home. So on just one hit, they've got a run in. 2 outs now with the bases empty. And the batter will be center fielder Dane Frederick. 328 average, 6 homers, 30 RBIs. As you can tell from the numbers so far, this is a team that can hit. Ball outside, 1-0, and particularly at the top of the order. Everyone who's come up so far has been a 300 or better hitter. That ball hit on the ground just outside the third base line. Count goes to 1-1, a foul ball hit by Dane Frederick. Judson as a team has a .297 batting average. They score better than 7 runs per game and very well balanced. They've got 6 players between 26 and 37 RBIs. Ball down low, 2-1. 37 is their team lead. That's actually 38 now. Spang picked up his 38th just a few seconds ago. But 6 guys with at least 26 runs batted in. That's impressive. A lot of balance up and down this lineup as Frederick takes the ball outside, 3-1. Same is true when it comes to runs scored. They have 7 players with at least 23 runs scored. Nobody with more than 33. So that ball is flown into the left center field gap. It drops in for a base hit. Frederick heads to second base. Now he's thinking about third. The relay throw comes in a little bit late, and it's a triple for Dane Frederick. Second hit of the inning for Judson. They've both been big ones. A double for Zaratsky and now a triple for Frederick. That one was not hit as hard as Zaratsky's ball, but it found the right spot on the field between Luke Ketchum and Sean Harper. And it found its way all the way to the wall in deep left center. Ketchum and Harper had a little bit of trouble getting it back in. So now some 2-out trouble for Ryan Daly, who fires ball 1 to Tommy Moran. Moran just a .228 hitter, though he does have a .344 on-base percentage. He checks his swing and takes a strike. It's 1-1. Tommy Moran this season has 5 homers, 30 RBIs. So he's another one of those guys who can bring home anyone at any time. Swing and a miss, 1 and 2, including himself, which obviously he's done 5 times. So a lower average hitter here, but he's right in the mix in terms of run production. He bats with 2 outs and a man at third base. And he foul tips it into the catcher's glove for strike 3. First strikeout for Ryan Daly, 3rd out of the inning. And they leave a man at third base, but they also score once on 2 hits. As we head to the bottom of the first, St. Francis trails Judson 1-0. Bottom of the first inning, the Fighting Saints will bat for the first time today. They trail 1-0. And Travis Schoonover, the right fielder, will lead things off. He'll be followed by shortstop Noah Carraro and third baseman Josh Tesh here in this first inning. Joe McGuire bats cleanup. He's at first base. Foster Heiss is the DH. First pitch to Schoonover is swung on and hit in the air out to center field, deep but playable for Dane Frederick, who backs up and makes the grab, one away. Batting sixth for the Saints today, second baseman Dolan Nicholson. Jake Lasota catches and bats seventh. Sean Harper is in left field, and batting ninth, the center fielder Luke Ketchum. St. Francis came into today's game with a 16-12 mark in conference, a game over 500 overall. So Noah Carraro takes ball one. Carraro, a .315 hitter, 14 RBIs for the year. Lines it sharply into center field. That drops in front of Dane Frederick. And that's a base hit. The first base runner of the game for St. Francis comes with one out in the bottom of the first inning. And Carraro adds to that batting average of his 40th hit and 125 at-bats this season. Only Josh Tesh has more hits on the year. He's got 42. And he'll bid for number 43 right here as he digs in with Carraro at first base. On the mound for Judson today, right-hander Tommy Louch. Louch, a sophomore from near here. Ball inside, 1-0 on Tesh. He's from Lockport, just down the road, but decided to head up north a little bit for his collegiate schooling. Strike called, and now Carraro has himself caught between first and second base. The throw goes to first, and he's out. So he's tagged out at first base. That'll go as a caught stealing, 1-6-3. Just a weird play. Noah Carraro was unsure of himself. He went about halfway and then stopped, and sometimes you see that intentionally. If there's a man at third base, the 1-1 to Tesh is taken outside for ball two. Sometimes there's a man at third base. The runner at first will intentionally get himself caught a rundown to allow time for his teammate to come in to score, but there's nobody else on base here. Carraro, I think, just got a bad jump, had second thoughts, and then got caught in no man's land. Strike called on Tesh. It's 2-2. 2 outs now with the bases empty. Tesh is just trying to keep the inning alive. He takes the ball upstairs, full count. And there's ball four, low and in. So Josh Tesh is aboard, the second consecutive base runner for St. Francis. Thanks to the base running miscue for Noah Carraro. 1 on, 2 outs. It's just the second time this year that Carraro has been caught stealing. He had been 10 of 11 coming in. There's another man on as Joe McGuire steps into the box. McGuire's hitting .319 this year, 5 home runs. He's got 23 runs batted in. Tommy Louch having a little bit of problem with his control early on. 6 balls to 4 strikes among his first 10 pitches. Tommy Louch is making his 7th start of the year. He's 4-1 with a .325 ERA. In 36 innings pitched, he's allowed 16 runs, 13 of them earned on 32 hits, with 19 strikeouts and 13 walks. McGuire hits it a mile high and deep out to left field. Backing Zaratsky to the wall. It's gone. And just like that, the Saints have a first inning lead. Judson scores 1 in the top of the frame. St. Francis immediately answers with 2 outs and nobody on. Josh Tesh takes a walk. And a couple of pitches later, Joe McGuire goes deep. For McGuire, it's home run number 6, RBIs number 24 and 25 for the season. That snaps a tie with Josh Tesh for the home run lead on this team. As Foster Heiss takes strike 1. Last day of the regular season today, so if Tesh wants to catch McGuire, he's going to have to hit one at some point in today's doubleheader. There's a called strike. It's 0-2. Foster Heiss is a .310 hitter with 15 runs batted in. Senior DH honored before the game with the 9 other seniors on the roster. Ground ball inside the third base line. Nice backhanded play by Alec McLennan. Long throw to first, and he gets it there in time. Well done by Alec McLennan, but some damage done by the Saints. A 2-run homer for Joe McGuire has St. Francis on top as we go to the second inning. 2-1 in favor of the home team. Top of the second inning, Judson scored a run in their half of the first, but they find themselves trailing as they come up for the second time today. Jared Krominga leads things off, and he's hit by Ryan Daly's first pitch. Well, you just gave up the lead. That's about the best way you could start the inning, getting on base on the first pitch. As Daly sees his third base runner against him today. That's the 6th batter that he's hit with a pitch this season in 43 innings. And he misses up high for ball 1 on Joshua Taylor. Taylor's getting a rare start today. It's just the 5th time this season. He's 5 for 14 at the plate for the year. That's a .357 average. 3 runs scored and 3 RBIs for Taylor so far this year. Wearing the number 39 on his back. Typically, he's number 28. But he has switched it up for today's game as he takes inside. 2 balls and no strikes. Ryan Daly, the freshman, is 2-3 this year with a .574 ERA coming in. This is his 7th start of the year, 11th appearance. He's been very good lately. He's been used a lot by Brian Mahalik lately. Confidence growing in the freshman right-hander. Coming into today in 42 1/3 innings, he had allowed 31 runs, 27 earned on 52 hits with 26 strikeouts and 8 walks. There's a grounder to first, picked up by McGuire. He shovels it backhanded over to Daly, covering the bag, and gets the out as Krominga advances to second base. 1 down in the inning. Interesting play by McGuire there. Obviously, he wanted to get the lead runner on a very softly hit ball. He would have had to make that play flawlessly in order to get Krominga out at second base. He thought about it at the last second, decided his play was actually at first. First pitch, ball 1 outside on Alec McLennan. Once McGuire realized his best shot was at first base, he was a little bit out of position because he had been looking towards second. So instead of turning his body and flipping it over to Daly, he just gave him the backhanded toss. Couldn't get a lot on it, but he got enough on it to catch Taylor coming down the line. Alec McLennan swings on 1-0 and pops it up foul to the right side. That is off the screen, out of play. Count is 1-1. Alec McLennan is I had the average read wrong there. He's a .252 hitter. He's got 10 RBIs, 4 extra base hits. Chance to drive 1 in here with a runner at second base and 1 out. Judson faces a 1-run deficit. McLennan chops it down the first baseline. That's a foul ball. Count is 1-2. Ryan Daly, typically a strike thrower, only 8 walks in 44 innings pitched this season now. He did hit his 6th batter of the year, though, earlier this frame. 3 base runners so far for Judson. They were the hit by pitch, a double, and a triple. Simple single here could tie the score. It's in the air. It's in shallow left field. Carraro goes back, but he's called off by Sean Harper, who comes in to make the grab. 2 away. Ball really carrying. Carraro went back on that one initially, but it was way too deep for the shortstop to pull it in. You could see the American flag out just to the left of center field. Really gusting out. It's the first game that we've had here at DuPage Medical Group Field this season since they've put the flags up on the pole, or at least the flag, singular, up on the center field flagpole. First pitch to Benjamin Nelson is taken for a strike. 2 outs and a man at second base here in the second inning. Sometimes you don't realize when you don't have it just how valuable having that flag out there can be to indicate which way the wind is blowing. Swing and a miss, strike 2. I will admit that I hadn't thought about it all that much when it wasn't out there, but now they've got the flag up on the pole, I've been looking up there every 30 seconds or so to see if the winds have shifted. They haven't. Blowing hard, straight out. The 0-2 pitch. Nelson takes ball 1 outside. Daly hit Jared Krominga on the very first pitch of this inning. Krominga is at second base right now, but there are 2 outs, and Daly is ahead of the batter in the box. 1 more strike, and he'll have a scoreless inning. Fisted foul to the left side, still 1-2. Daly does have 1 strikeout today. He got Tommy Moran to end the first inning, and now trying to end the second inning in kind. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That's exactly what he does. Second strikeout of the game. He retires 3 in a row to pitch around the leadoff base runner. We go to the bottom of the second inning. St. Francis 2, Judson 1. Good start for St. Francis today. After an inning and a half, they lead 2-1. Just a 7-inning game here as part 1 of a doubleheader. So the early lead is a little bit more crucial than it would be in a typical 9-inning contest. Dolan Nicholson steps to the plate and takes ball 1. Nicholson leads off the second inning, a .325 hitter. A homer and 16 RBIs this year. Senior second baseman takes the ball low, 2-0. Nicholson, I think, has been playing more and more infield as this year has gone on. Luke Ketchum has had some success out in center. Nicholson fouls this one away, 2-1. And with Ketchum playing center field, Nicholson has come into the infield. And he's been effective defensively in both positions. Grounder up the middle, under the glove of Tommy Louch. And out to center. The leadoff man is aboard for St. Francis. A single for Dolan Nicholson, who's got a good contingent of supporters in the audience today. Good crowd on a beautiful Saturday afternoon, sitting on the home side. And particularly those seniors are well represented as they were honored with their parents out on the field before the game. 10 seniors finishing up their collegiate careers today, at least. I was going to say their collegiate careers in this ballpark to the last home game of the year, but in fact, the conference tournament is here in Joliet, so even though those aren't technically home games for St. Francis, they will be in this park. Ball 1 low on the catcher, Jake Lasota. Jake Lasota is a junior, so he's got another year left of college baseball. Trying to build off of what he's done this year, which has been a very productive season. 284 is his batting average. He's second on the ball club with 26 runs batted in. He takes a ball in the dirt from Louch, 2-0. Louch having a little bit of trouble with his command here to start this second inning, as he did to start the first. On the season, he has walked about one man every 3 innings. Today he's issued 1 walk in the first inning plus. So he misses the outside corner here, 3-0. And however this at bat ends, that last pitch is exactly what we've seen to be the problem for Louch. He's not missing his spots by a lot, but he does miss downstairs. There's ball 4. Nicholson up to second base following the 4-pitch walk to Lasota. 2 on, nobody out for Sean Harper. Lasota departs. John McGuire comes in as his pinch runner. Good chance here for Harper to at least advance the runners, if not get them in. He shows bunt and takes ball 1 high. 7 balls and only 2 strikes this inning from Tommy Louch. And one of his 2 strikes was hit up the middle for a Dolan Nicholson single. There will be a meeting on the mound before the 1-0 pitch to Harper. Sean Harper this season hitting .250. He's got 2 doubles, 2 triples, 2 home runs. 18 runs batted in. Harper looking to sacrifice himself in this at-bat. He does have 2 sacrifice bunts this season. But he's also walked 10 times. And right now, the way things are going for Louch, might serve him well to be more patient than trying to bunt early in the count. We'll see what the plan is coming after this break. The whole infield gathered together on the mound, and finally the home plate umpire goes out to break them up. 5 of the first 7 batters of the game have reached base for the University of St. Francis. The only 2 to be retired were Travis Schoonover, who flew out on the very first pitch that Louch threw, and Foster Heiss, who was robbed by Alec McLennan, who made a really nice play at third base. Harper shows bunt again, but again he pulls it back and takes a ball. This one nowhere near the zone. It's 2-0. 2 walks so far in the game for Louch. This time the bunt gets down, back to the pitcher. It's a good bunt. Louch tosses over to first base. Close play. As Harper dives headfirst into the bag, he is out. And he's retired on the sacrifice, 1-4. The runners both move up. John McGuire is at second. Dolan Nicholson is at third. With only 1 down, Luke Ketchum is at bat. .25 pitches so far in the game for Tommy Louch. 11 strikes, 14 balls. And he starts Ketchum out with a ball in the dirt, 1-0. That's now 15-11. That's why that bunt was a little surprising. Maybe not surprising, but it's certainly fair to question the decision making. Fouled back, 1-1. The pitcher who is seemingly on the ropes. Saints kind of bailed him out a little bit, giving him a free out. But they've also tightened things up again, putting runners at second and third. Ketchum takes the ball high, 2-1. And so that can't be doing wonders for Louch's psyche, although he is now able to pitch out of the windup with first base unoccupied. Fouled back, 2-2. 2 on, 1 out, 2-2 on Ketchum, who needs a hit here to get a run in. Or I guess a fly ball will do. Infield playing about halfway in. On Ketchum, the .313 hitter with 3 homers and 18 runs batted in. He pops it up. Shallow right field. Tough play going back for Tommy Moran, and it drops behind him. A base hit for Luke Ketchum. Dolan Nicholson scores. It's 3-1. As I said, the infield was about halfway in. They were not playing all the way in on the grass, but still much further in than his normal position. Tommy Moran was about even with the baseline as that pitch came in, and typically that's probably a routine play for him, but it was just too far back for him in this case because he was playing so far in from usual. Back to the top of the order, and Travis Schoonover takes a strike. The right fielder Benjamin Nelson came in on it, but he didn't get close enough. And so it's a very soft RBI single for Luke Ketchum. Schoonover swings and flies it into left field. This is playable for Adam Zaratsky, who backs up and makes the grab. John McGuire tags from second and makes it to third base on the second out of the inning. Ketchum still at first. And that little pop-up to right field that ended up falling for an RBI single for Luke Ketchum. John McGuire just kind of assumed it would be caught. He went back to second base and was not able to move up to third, even after the ball did fall. So he was not able to score on that last one, but he did tag and move to third base. Noah Carraro steps up and takes strike one. 2-run lead for the Fighting Saints. They scored twice in the first on the 2-run homer for Joe McGuire. Now one on a bloop single here in the second. There's a ball. The throw goes into center field on a stolen base attempt, and McGuire scores as Ketchum heads to third base. It's 4-1 St. Francis. That ball, I think, just slipped out of the hand of Alex Spang. That was way over everybody's head. And an easy run for John McGuire, who could have walked home for as deep as that ball made it into center field. So that'll be E2 scoring the run. Ball upstairs on Carraro, 2-1. It's a stolen base for Ketchum. And that's his 7th of the year. And then the error allowed both the run and allowed Ketchum to make it to third base. Carraro hits it foul. It's 2-2. So 4 unanswered runs for St. Francis after they fell very quickly behind. Fouled back off the screen, still 2-2. And they're making Tommy Louch work this inning. This will be his 24th pitch of the second inning. And he'll throw another one. Fouled away by Carraro. He's fouled off back-to-back 2 strike offerings. This next pitch will be the 7th of the sequence. Runner at third base. 2 runs are already in for the Saints. But they don't want to be content with that. A base hit from Carraro would make it 5-1. Carraro hits it in the air out to deep left field. That ball back towards the track and over the wall, a home run. Noah Carraro, who's been one of the top hitters on the team all season, goes deep for the first time this year. And St. Francis has scored 6 consecutive runs. Their lead is 5. Ketchum scores in front of him on the play. And so it's a 2-run shot for Carraro, who's now got 16 RBIs this year. Josh Tesh swings to the first pitch and pops it to shallow right. Tommy Moran backs up. This time has plenty of space to make the grab. The inning is over, but a productive inning for St. Francis. They score 4 runs on 3 hits, including a big 2-run homer for Noah Carraro. We'll head to the third. 6-1 Saints. It's been a great offensive start for the Fighting Saints, providing some support to Ryan Daly, who has retired 3 consecutive batters as he starts his 3rd inning of work. And his first pitch is a slow ball in for a strike on Adam Zaratsky. Zaratsky is 1 for 1. He doubled off the left field wall to begin the ball game, and then later came in to score the first run of the game on an Alec Spang ground out. Now he's got a 1-1 count, and he takes outside 2-1. There's a strike pumped in over the outside corner, 2-2. Just 3 batters into the game. Ryan Daly's side trailed 1-0 as he gets Zaratsky swinging for strike 3. Way out in front of a slow curve, and there's the first out of the inning. 3rd strikeout of the game for Daly, and his 4th straight batter retired overall. Here's Cameron Pauly. You're 10 pitches into the game and you're losing. Doesn't feel too good as Cameron Pauly takes strike 1. But Daly has really pitched well since then. And his offense has backed him up. That ball hit down the left field line and playable in the air. Moving over to his right to make the grab, Cameron Pauly is put away by Sean Harper. And there's out number 2. So Zaratsky strikes out, Pauly flies out. 5 in a row set down by Ryan Daly. And he'll look for his first 1-2-3 inning of the game facing Spang. Alex Spang takes a ball low. I always have a tough time with the name Alec when the last name starts with an S. Ball outside, 2-0. Sounds like I'm saying Alex Bang, which would be an appropriate name for this slugger. He lines this one sharply into center field. That's a bang, I guess. A single with 2 outs in the inning for the Judson catcher. So much for the 1-2-3 frame, but still 5 of the last 6 set down by Daly, and he'll face Frederick with 1 on and 2 out. Alec Spang, not Alex Bang, is replaced by a pinch runner. Gunnar Boley is in. Boley will carry out on the base paths for the catcher so he can go back and get ready for next inning. Now there's the type of name you give to a kid if you expect him to be fast. Gunner. It's hard to be a slow plodding gunner. Strike 1 called on Dane Frederick. Frederick is 1 for 1 with a first inning triple. Foul tipped, it's 0-2. Ryan Daly has ended every inning so far. Well, okay, both innings so far with a strikeout. But he can make it every inning if he gets Frederick here. It'd be 3 for 3. Instead, he misses way outside, 1-2. Still a lot of strikes early in this game for Daly. That's a strike, but it's floated foul and out of play, and Frederick is still alive. Last game of the regular season today. The conference tournament starts on Friday. Right here in Joliet. Judson in pretty good position for that conference tournament. They came in ranking 3rd in the CCAC with a 20-8 record. Slow breaker just outside. Frederick takes a close one there, and he gets the benefit of the call. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Frederick pops up behind home plate and out of play. And it's still 2-2. 2-out scoring has been the name of the game today. 6 of our 7 runs have come with 2 outs in the inning. So Daly doesn't want to loosen up here just because there are 2 down with a man at first base. Another 2-2, bounces in the dirt and skips away from Jake Lasota. Frederick moves up to second base on the wild pitch. Two and two on Frederick, who has seen 6 pitches already. (6-1) St. Francis, thanks to a 4-run second inning. They've got a pair of 2-run homers today, one from Joe McGuire and one from Noah Carraro. They have dominated the early going in this game, but Judson is trying to make a statement with 2 outs here in the third. Instead, it's a strikeout. Frederick goes down swinging. Third straight inning that Daly has ended on a strikeout. He gives up just 1 base runner on a 2-out single, and that's it. As we go to the bottom of the third inning, 6-1 Saints. Joe McGuire has already gone deep once today. He leads off the bottom of the third inning for St. Francis with a 6-1 lead. And McGuire takes ball 1 from Tommy Louch on for his third inning of work. Louch has not been a good strike thrower in today's game. See if he turns that around here. Well, for at least that pitch he did. Over the outer third, it's 1-1. Just 2 walks so far for Louch, although I say just. 2 walks is a fairly high number through 2 innings. There's a strike. It's 1-2. But the bigger problem for Louch has been just consistently falling behind hitters. Hasn't done it here against McGuire, but he evens the count, missing outside, 2-2. McGuire, Heiss, and Nicholson are due up here in the third inning. Ball low, full count. Louch in some more trouble here in this at-bat. Looking to put away Joe McGuire. Here comes the payoff pitch. Ground ball up the middle, ranging to his left. The shortstop, Pauly, scoops it up, throws it wide to first base, and McGuire is safe. Cameron Pauly had to move a long way to his left. He was nearly behind second base when he finally fielded that ball. McGuire doesn't run all that well, so he still did have time to get him. But his throw was wild. Pulled first baseman Joshua Taylor off the bag. McGuire is safe. Here's Foster Heiss. Heiss swings to the first pitch and fouls it straight back, 0-1. Heiss grounded out to third to end the first inning. Alec McLennan made a really nice play against him. He chases the high heat here, 0-2. One run, 3 hits, 1 error for Judson. 6-6 and 0 for St. Francis as Heiss goes down swinging, a 3-pitch strikeout. And Tommy Louch has his first strikeout of the day. One down in the third. Dolan Nicholson takes ball one inside. There's a swing and a foul tip for a strike. 1-1. Dolan Nicholson is the 15th batter to come to the plate in this game for St. Francis. 9 of the previous, or I should say, including this at bat, 9 out of the 15 have seen a first pitch ball. Nicholson fouls it away. 1-2. So 9 out of 15 have seen a first pitch ball. 2 others put the ball in play on the first pitch. Foul tipped. Still 1-2. So that means there have only been 4 occasions among the first 15 batters of this game in which Louch was ahead with an 0-1 count. It's just tough to pitch when you're constantly behind. Fouled back off the mask of catcher Alex Spang. Still 1-2. There is action in the Judson bullpen right now. So Louch's day may be nearing an end. He gets the sign and sets. Driven into right field, but right at Benjamin Nelson, who's on the spot to make the catch. 2 down. Nicholson hit that ball right on the screws. Nelson didn't even have to move, had him played perfectly. The ball is hit right into his glove for the second out, bringing up Jake Lasota. Lasota walked on 4 pitches when he came to bat last inning, then was removed for a pinch runner. Takes the first pitch ball here. So what is that now? 10 out of 16. First pitch balls from Tommy Louch. Fouled off to the right side, out of play, 1-1. Looks like Kevin Navarez is the man warming up in the bullpen right now for Judson. And we will likely see him if Louch continues to miss the strike zone so consistently. It's now 2-1 on Jake Lasota. He swings and hits it down the left field line. That's a foul ball. Out in front of that one, it's 2-2. Yesterday, the starting pitcher for Judson was Brandon Callender. He threw a complete game shutout. Granted, it was only a 7-inning complete game. Game was called due to the 10-run lead. Ball high, 3-2. Still, he saved his bullpen for today's doubleheader. They may be needed. Payoff pitch. Nicholson shoots it foul past third base. You'll see another 3-2. No runs are in yet this inning for St. Francis. They scored at least 2 in each of the first 2 frames. There's a line drive into center field, sinking, and drops in front of Dane Frederick. On a 3-2 count with 2 outs, Joe McGuire was running on contact, so he makes it into third base easily. On a single for Jake Lasota, the second time he's been on base today. And I think we may see a pitching change now with Louch continuing to struggle. And the right-hander Kevin Navarez ready down in the bullpen. Looks like the call has been made, and we're going to see Navarez here in the bottom of the third. 6 runs have scored today for St. Francis. They've got another threat going with runners at the corners and 2 outs. Sean Harper coming up against the new pitcher when we return. We'll be back to tell you about that new man in just a moment. Another 2-out threat for St. Francis here in the bottom of the third. They lead 6-1. And they've got runners at the corners with 2 down for Sean Harper facing the new pitcher, Kevin Navarez. Navarez, a junior right-hander, sets for his first pitch to the number 8 batter, Harper. And it's swung on and fouled back for strike 1. Navarez this season is 1-0 with a .435 ERA in 6 games pitched. He's pitched 10 1/3 innings, allowing 6 runs, 5 of them earned on 11 hits, and 5 walks with 8 strikeouts. There's a strike, it's 0-2. Harper has no official at bat. He bunted his teammates over last time around to sacrifice. He hits a chopper to the left side. Backhand is stopped by the shortstop, Pauly. The throw to first is in time. Nice play by Pauly. With the runner on the move, he was going to cover second base. He had to reverse direction on the move, make the play, and get it there in just enough time to end the inning. No runs for the Fighting Saints, despite 2 hits, no errors, 2 left. We go to the 5th. Our score is 6-1, St. Francis. Here come the Eagles in the top of the 4th inning, trying to cut into this 5-run deficit. They led 1-0. St. Francis has scored the last 6. 5, 6, and 7 due up for the Eagles here. As the first pitch to Tommy Moran is belted out to deep center field. Ketchum back to the warning track, and he pulls it in just in front of the fence. Great play by Luke Ketchum. Ketchum fell to the ground just in front of the wall out in nearly straightaway center field. Got his body twisted and turned around a couple of times. He knew where he was on the field. He had room. He was able to haul it in just before stumbling and falling to the wall. His momentum carrying him back towards that wall kind of precipitated that fall. Great play, one away. Here's Jared Krominga. Krominga takes a strike. In his previous plate encounter, Krominga was hit by the first pitch he saw from Ryan Daly. Maybe a little gun shy this time as he takes a curveball over the inside corner. He flinched at it. Count is 0-2. Hard line drive foul past third base. Still 0-2. No walks for Ryan Daly today. He did hit Krominga, but that was his only mistake in that regard. Ball outside, 1-2, and it's been a big difference between him and Tommy Louch, the starter for Judson, who couldn't get the ball over the plate consistently and was removed in the third inning as a result of it. There's a called third strike. Krominga frozen in the batter's box. He goes down looking. 5 strikeouts today for Daly. He has been sharp. Not a guy who typically strikes out a ton, just 26 of them in 42 and a third innings coming in. Ball outside, 1-0 on Taylor. He's got 5 already today. We're just 3 2/3 innings in. So it's just about half the outs. Weak grounded to the right side. Picked up by Nicholson. The throw to first is in time, and the inning is over. Easiest inning so far for Ryan Daly. 1-2-3 go the Eagles in the 4th. We've reached the halfway point of today's game, and our score is St. Francis 6, Judson 1. Bottom of the 4th, another chance for St. Francis to add to their lead. 9-1-2 due up against Kevin Navarez, starting his first inning of work. First pitch to Luke Ketchum is fouled off for strike 1. Navarez came out of the bullpen in the 3rd. He threw 3 pitches. He came in with runners at the corners and 2 outs and got Harper to ground out to short to end that threat. The first is 0 under the runs column on St. Francis's line score today. Ketchum tried to check his swing but couldn't. He went around for strike 2. Saints scored 2 in the first, 4 in the second. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And Ketchum goes down on strikes. Second strikeout today for the Fighting Saints offense. And that's one thing we've seen from Navarez since coming in. Tommy Louch could not do, and that's throw strikes. Louch was having all kinds of troubles getting the ball in the zone. Navarez has come in over the span of 2 innings. He's thrown 6 total pitches. All of them have been strikes. He's gotten 2 outs. Here's Travis Schoonover with 1 down, nobody on. Schoonover swings the first pitch and laces it back up the box, a base hit. Schoonover has been very aggressive. Typically, actually one of the more patient hitters on the team. He has wasted no time in jumping on pitches that he's liked. He's seen 3 at-bats and 4 total pitches, and he's now 1 for 3. Here's Noah Carraro, fresh off of his first home run. He flies this ball into shallow right, into foul territory. That ball drops untouched. Foul for strike 1 on Carraro. Benjamin Nelson, the right fielder, didn't see that one all that well off the bat, so he had a bit of a slow jump. Also had a long way to come in to try to get that ball. First baseman Joshua Taylor was a lot closer to it, but Taylor didn't locate it very well off the bat and couldn't track it down. 0-1 on Carraro. Looks like another pitcher has just started to throw down in the Judson bullpen. Navarez has been impressive so far. There's a bunt down the third base line, picked up by the pitcher. Navarez throw to first. Not in time. Close play at first base, and Noah Carraro beats it out. A bunt single advances Schoonover to second base. 2 on with only 1 out for Josh Tesh. The Judson skipper, Mike Guilfoyle, comes out to have a quick argument with the umpire. The call, of course, is not going to be reversed, but it was a close play at first base. I'll admit that from where I'm sitting, I thought he was out, but that was not the case. Carraro is now 3 for 3. Josh Tesh lines it into center field. That hangs in the air, and the catch is made by Dane Frederick, who throws back to second. Not in time to get the double play. Very nearly had Schoonover leaning a little bit too far towards third. Schoonover thought that ball was going to fall. It looked for a moment like it might, but it just stayed in the air, did not come down seemingly forever. And so it hung up, allowing Frederick to make the grab. Tesh retired on the first pitch he sees. 2 away. It's up to Joe McGuire. McGuire is 2 for 2. He's got an infield single and a 2-run homer. That home run came back in the first, one of 2 home runs in the game for St. Francis. McGuire's got one, Carraro's got one. They've both not only been 2-run shots, they were both 2-out 2-run shots. Joe McGuire checks his swing and takes a strike. 0-1. McGuire entered play today, ranking 3rd on the team in batting average behind Josh Tesh and Dolan Nicholson. Trying to make his way up the leaderboard. He fouls it away to the right side. 0-2. Navarez still has not thrown a ball. 12 total pitches. All of them have been strikes. He's got 1 strikeout. He's recorded 3 outs and allowed 2 hits. One of those hits being a bunt single. The 0-2. And the dirt ball 1. So I jinxed him. I don't think it works that way. In part because I'm not sure announcers jinx ever work, but also in part because I've mentioned his proclivity towards throwing strikes several times already this inning. And I don't work for Judson, so I don't think my word means anything to him. Ball low and away, 2-2. So he's missed in the dirt on back-to-back pitches. 2 outs in the inning. Carraro is at first. Schoonover is at second. St. Francis is trying to pull away. Here's the pitch from Navarez. Outside, 3 straight out of the zone. If Joe McGuire reaches, Foster Heiss will bat next. If Navarez misses the strike zone one more time, that would load the bases for Heiss. He's set for the payoff pitch, but he doesn't make it. Steps back off the rubber and looks Schoonover back to second base instead. Now again before the 3-2, Navarez takes a long look back at second base and Joe McGuire steps out of the box. With a 3-2 count and 2 outs, both runners will be on the move. Pitch to McGuire is driven out into left center field. Long run Frederick, and he gets there to make the play. It tailed back towards center field, and that late slice allowed Frederick to cover the ground and fill the gap. No runs score for the Saints in the 6th inning despite a pair of hits. In the 4th inning despite a pair of hits. Now we head to the 5th. Our score is St. Francis 6, Judson 1. Top of the 5th, and Judson has some work to do, trailing by 5 with just 3 innings. Try to get back in this thing. Alec McLennan swings at the first pitch. Popped up on the left side of the infield. Noah Carraro takes a few steps back, and the shortstop puts it away. 1 pitch, 1 out in the 5th. Great start for Daly and the Fighting Saints. 5 straight set down by Ryan Daly. That matches a game high for him. In fact, he has now retired 10 of the last 11 batters that he's faced. As Benjamin Nelson hits for the second time and swings through the first pitch for strike 1. Nelson was the second strikeout victim of Ryan Daly's today when he went down swinging in the 2nd inning. This time he makes contact, lines it just out of the reach of Dolan Nicholson into right field. A 1-out single for the Judson right fielder, Benjamin Nelson. And that was literally about 2 or 3 inches away, I think, from being an out. But Nicholson just couldn't quite get to it. Maybe a few miles per hour slower off the bat, Nicholson would have made the play. But solid contact from Nelson. As we're back to the top of the order. And Adam Zaratsky takes ball 1 outside. Zaratsky's 1 for 2, began the ball game with a double off the left field wall, and he scored the game's first run. Here he takes a strike. It's 1-1. His last time up, he struck out swinging. So he's 1 for 2. Throw to first base is late to try to get Nelson. Benjamin Nelson this season has 24 stolen bases. Ball 2 on Zaratsky. He's ahead in the count. Critical moment for Judson. Down to their final 8 outs. Swing and a miss. 1-2. Or 2-2 rather. Down to their final 8 outs. You might say, well, they've got time. Yeah, that's true. But down by 5, you've got to make up probably a few of those runs quickly. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Zaratsky goes down on strikes for the second time today. 6 strikeouts for Ryan Daly, who's got at least 1 in every inning. So far, he's having one of the better games of his collegiate career. Only his 7th game pitched, at least as a starter, as a collegian, but still, he has looked very sharp this afternoon. The count is 1-0 on Cameron Pauly. Pauly takes a ball inside, 2-0. Cameron Pauly has flown out twice, once to center and once to left. Throw to first, and the runner dives back in. Off the outside corner, 3 balls and no strikes. Daly hasn't walked anybody today. This is his first 3-ball count of the afternoon. And it's a 3-0 count on Pauly, who swings and pops it up behind home plate. Out of play for a strike. Actually, I look up at the scoreboard right now. The scoreboard had 2-2 rather than 3-1. So I may have miscalled one of them. Nope, the umpire just flashed. It is 3-1. Next pitch from Daly, slugged out to deep right field down the line towards the fence and gone. 2-run homer for Cameron Pauly, and Judson gets themselves right back into this thing. With 2 outs in the 5th inning, it's a 6-3 game. For Cameron Pauly, home run number 4, RBI is 27 and 28 for the season. And Judson has tightened it up. The 3rd home run we've seen today. 2 from the Saints, 1 from the Eagles. They've all been 2-run shots as Alex Spang takes strike 1. Spang is 1 for 2 with a single and an RBI ground out. He's in an 0-2 hole here. Talked for a little while earlier about the wind howling out to straightaway center field today. Spang strikes out swinging. Nope, he does not. He just got a tiny piece of that one. And Jake Lasota could not hang on. The count is 0-2. Daly will try to put him away again. This time it's fouled away sharply to the right side. Still 0-2. Even though the wind is blowing out, I think all 3 of the home runs that have been hit today would have left on most other days as well. Line drive out to left field. That's down for an Alex Spang base hit. Spang takes the turnaround first, but stays where he is. 2-out single. Back-to-back 2-out hits, the homer and then the single. Judson cooking here in the 5th inning. They've got 6 hits now in the game. 3 of them, that's half for any of you non-math majors, have come here in the 5th inning. Here's Dane Frederick. Ball 1 outside. Frustrating at bat for the Saints as Alex Spang appeared to have struck out. Lasota couldn't hang on to the foul tip, popped out of his glove. 2 pitches later, the single keeps the inning alive. Ball outside on Frederick, 2-0. 3rd time through the batting order here. Ryan Daly starting to show some signs of wearing down as the next pitch is over for a strike, 2-1. Or maybe now wearing down so much as Judson may have timed him up a little bit better. That is popped up behind home plate just to the left. Down the 3rd base side, Jake Lasota goes over to make the catch. Lasota puts away Frederick. The inning is over. 2-run score on 3 hits. 1 man left on. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. It's a ball game again. St. Francis 6, Judson 3. Bottom of the 5th inning, things are a little bit tighter now than they were a few minutes ago, and so the Saints perhaps will be a little bit more urgent in trying to add some insurance as they lead 6-3. Foster Heist, Dolan Nicholson, and Jake Lasota are due to hit against the young right-hander Kevin Navarez, whose first pitch is taken for a strike by Heist. Foster Heist is 0 for 2. He's grounded out and struck out. The windup from Navarez produces a ball outside, 1-1. Kevin Navarez has pitched an inning and a third so far. He's allowed 2 hits, but no runs. No walks or strikeouts for him thus far. Heist fouls it away, 1-2. Foster Heist entered the game with a .310 batting average. Ball up and away, 2-2. Trying to keep it over 300 in this at bat. Foul to the left. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes. Navarez, the second pitcher of the game for Judson. And he gets his first strikeout as Heist chases one downstairs. Throw down to first makes it officially the first out. Navarez replaced Tommy Louch. Louch went 2 2/3 innings. All 6 runs are his. Dolan Nicholson is 1 for 2. He has singled and scored and lined out to right field. Ball 1 high. Both of these teams have already been guaranteed winning conference records. As Nicholson bounces it over to first base. Taylor steps on the bag, 2 down. Saints with a win here could guarantee a winning overall record, or at least a .500 overall record for the year. They're a game over. Doubleheader here is the last games of the regular season. Strike 1 called on Jake Lasota, who has not been retired. Lasota's 1 for 1 with a single and a walk. He flies this into center field. Dane Frederick watches it drop for a base hit. Lasota is aboard for the 3rd time. A 2-out single. And a chance for Sean Harper here, with John McGuire running at first. Harper is 0 for 1 with a ground out. Dropped down a sacrifice bunt his first time up. Ball 1 on Sean Harper. Line drive into left, and this one stays in the air. Adam Zaratsky comes in and puts it away. The side is retired. 2-out single from Jake Lasota is all that the Fighting Saints get in the fifth. We've got 2 innings still to play. 6-3, St. Francis. Top of the 6th inning, Judson coming up to bat. They trail 6-3. Tommy Moran, Jared Krominga, and Joshua Taylor, the 5, 6, and 7 hitters, due up against Ryan Daly, whose first pitch is up high for ball 1. Daly was on a roll until the 5th inning. He had retired 10 out of 11 batters. Ball 2 low this time, 2-0 on Moran. And then Nelson singled, Paulie homered, Spang singled. He was stranded. He did not score. Moran takes a strike, 2-1. But still, 3 hits in the span of 4 batters. First real chink in the armor for Ryan Daly as he gets Moran to foul tip this one. It's 2-2. Trying to put him away. High fly ball out to left field. Sean Harper is under it. Harper makes the grab. 1 away. Brings up Jared Krominga next. Krominga is 0 for 1 with a strikeout. He was also hit by a pitch, the only free base runner allowed by Ryan Daly so far today. Strike 1 on a high fastball. 0-1 the count. Another ball hit in the air. This one shallow right field. Nicholson backs up. Schoonover comes in, dives, and he can't pull it in. It's a base hit for Jared Krominga. Travis Schoonover came up with the ball in his glove, but it was trapped. And so Krominga is aboard with a 1-out single. I think that wind continues to wreak havoc on balls hit in the air. That's one I think that normally would have been played by the second baseman, but Dolan Nicholson didn't really have a read on it. 1 on, 1 out. And a first pitch strike to Joshua Taylor. Taylor is 0 for 2. He's grounded to first and to second. Strike over the inside corner, 0-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Blows a fastball by him. Taylor is the 7th strikeout victim of Ryan Daly's today. He's 0 for 3. And it'll bring up McLennan. Adam Zaratsky, the leadoff batter, has struck out twice. Other than that, nobody has gone down more than once against Daly, but he has struck out 6 different batters. That ball poked off the end of the bat down the right field line, and it drops foul. Strike 1 on Alec McLennan. McLennan is 0 for 2. He's flown to left and popped out to the shortstop. So essentially he's flown out to left twice, just once a lot more shallow than the other. Daly is set for the 0-1. McLennan fouls it to the right side, 0-2. McLennan is one of the 3 batters for the Eagles who has not struck out today, the other 2 being the 2 and 3 hitters, Cameron Pauly and Alex Spang. But he could strike McLennan off his list with one more strike right here. 27 strikeouts and 122 at-bats this year for Alec McLennan. If it weren't for Cameron Pauly's presence on the list, I'd say maybe he just doesn't like striking out guys named Alec. McLennan and Spang, both in today's lineup. But I don't think that's it. There's a pop-up in foul ground right side. Looks like it'll stay in play. Joe McGuire drifting back towards the field. Makes the grab just a couple of feet outside the baseline. McGuire and Daly combine to retire McLennan, and the inning is over. A one-out hit, but Krominga is stranded at first base. To the bottom of the 6th, 6-3, St. Francis. It's the bottom of the 6th, and our score is 6-3, St. Francis over Judson. Luke Ketchum leads off the 6th inning for the Fighting Saints, and Ketchum takes the first pitch strike. Last chance for the Saints to add some insurance. They scored these 6 runs quickly, but Kevin Navarez has shut them down since he's entered the contest as Ketchum pops this ball foul over the Judson dugout out of play. 0-2. Navarez has gone 2 1/3 innings. He's allowed 3 hits, but nobody to score. Swing and a miss, and there's his second strikeout. Make that his 3rd strikeout of the game. Ketchum goes down on 3 pitches. 1 out in the bottom of the 6th. In fact, Navarez has not just held the team off the scoreboard for now 2 2/3 innings, but he came into a tough spot. Runners at 1st and 3rd, and 2 down. And he was able to get out of that jam. He hasn't gotten into any of his own. Travis Schoonover bounces it over to the shortstop. Picked up cleanly by Pauly, whose throw to first is in time. 2 away. Two quick outs here in the 6th inning. Schoonover continues to be very aggressive. 4 at-bats. He's seen 5 pitches. That's from a guy who actually leads the team in walks, so it's not as though he doesn't like to work the count ever, but he has seen pitches he has thought he could handle. He's jumped on them, and unfortunately for Schoonover, it hasn't really worked out. He is 1 for 4 with a single. Noah Carraro swings and grounds it through the hole on the left side. There's a base hit. So as well as Navarez has pitched today, Saints still have not been retired in order in any of their 6 innings at bat. And Noah Carraro is now 4 for 4. 3 singles and a 2-run homer. Josh Tesh is the batter. He swings and misses at the first one. Tesh is 0 for 2. He's popped out to second. He's lined out to center. He's also walked and scored a run. Throw to first base. Gets away from the first baseman, Taylor. Carraro goes to second. Might be thinking about third. He is going to try for third base. And he makes it in standing up. Two-base throwing error on the pickoff attempt from Kevin Navarez. And now Carraro is 90 feet away from scoring a big insurance run. Oh and 1 on Josh Tesh, who leads the team in RBIs. He's got a good chance at one here. He flies it in the air out to center field, deep but routine. Frederick backs up, makes the grab, and the inning is over. So the two-base error does not come back to haunt any of the Judson Eagles, in particular Kevin Navarez, who committed the error. Carraro is stranded at third base. We'll go to the seventh, 6-3, St. Francis. Last chance for Judson here in the seventh inning. Game one of our doubleheader. They trail 6-3. And Ryan Daly's first pitch of the inning misses inside for ball one on Benjamin Nelson. Nelson is 1 for 2 today. He singled and scored a run in the fifth inning. Struck out his first time up. Time is called before the next pitch. Taken up high. Daly a little bit off the mark to the leadoff batter here in the seventh. 3-0 on Nelson. There's a strike. 3-1. Nelson, Zaratsky, and Pauly do up. There's a high fly to right field. Schoonover goes back. Schoonover looks up and watches it sail over the fence. Benjamin Nelson has his second home run of the year. And Judson is within 2 runs with nobody out in the seventh. Second hit of the ball game for Benjamin Nelson, who's now got 17 RBIs on the season. This was a 6-1 St. Francis lead at one point. The Eagles have tightened it up. Sam Pileggi throwing down to the bullpen just in case Daly can't finish this one off. Daly at 97 pitches for the game now. We're back to the top of the order. Adam Zaratsky, 1 for 3 with a double and 2 strikeouts. He takes strike one here. I mentioned before the wind is blowing out, but I don't think any of the previous home runs were affected by it at all. That one may have been. Ball low, 1-1. Which is not to say that Nelson didn't hit the ball very hard, but that was hit high up into the air and just kept drifting and drifting. Whereas the previous 3 home runs were all line drives. Swing and a miss, it's 1-2. Zaratsky has been behind with 2 strikes in every at-bat of the game. Twice he struck out. Once he knocked an 0-2 pitch off the left field wall. This time he takes a ball in the dirt, and the count evens at 2. Pileggi just started throwing, so I'm not sure if he's ready yet. The 2-2 comes in outside for ball 3. But I would guess that if Zaratsky reaches base here, Brian Mahalik is going to think very hard about making the change. Here's the payoff pitch. Hit hard on a line to the shortstop. A diving play made by Carraro on one hop. The throw to first is in time. And a great pick on that end by Joe McGuire. What a defensive effort by the Saints on both ends of that play, Carraro and McGuire. And Noah Carraro defensively at short. It's about as good as I've seen in the CCAC this year. That was a very hard hit ball and an extremely difficult play. Not just diving to his left, but trying to time it up to glove that ball on the short hop. And he was able to not just do that, but to make the play on the other end, the throw over to McGuire. Thanks to the artificial turf here, of course, McGuire gets the true hop and makes a nice pick for the first out. It's 2-0 now on Cameron Pauly. So just because he got some great help from his defense on that last play doesn't mean that Daly's out of the woods. Last thing he wants to do is bring the tying run to the plate. This is a big at bat. Slow breaker drops in the zone for strike 1. Cameron Pauly hit a 2-run homer his last time up. He's 1 for 3 with a couple of flyouts. On 2-1, a chopper foul to the right, 2-2. St. Francis scored 2 runs in the first inning on a Joe McGuire home run. 4 more in the second. A Noah Carraro home run was the highlight of that inning. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 2 down. Cameron Pauly becomes the 8th strikeout for Ryan Daly today, and he becomes the 7th Eagle to strike out at least once. Now everybody has gone down on strikes except for Alec McLennan and the man in the box right now, Alec Spang. Spang swings the first pitch and knocks it into left field. A 2-out single, and the tying run will come up. Big base hit there for Spang. I think that might be all she wrote for Ryan Daly as Brian Mahalik walks out of the dugout. Daly was gunning for his 3rd complete game of the year. He's thrown over 100 pitches for the game. 109 to be exact. He will stay in to face Dane Frederick. Or excuse me, Alex Spang. So that's what... I'm not sure what the ruling is here. Spang forced to go back into the batter's box. He does not get credit for the single. Yeah, I had to one-track mind there. I saw Brian Mahalik come out of the dugout. I was thinking pitching change. He was actually arguing something else. That Spang's single be disallowed. It is disallowed. He swings at the first pitch again and lines it into right field. So he apparently singled into left. That didn't happen. And now he singles into right instead. Spang is aboard. Still not sure exactly why Spang's first single was discounted. Again, I was focused on the wrong thing there. But it didn't really matter for Judson as he singles anyway, and that'll do it for Ryan Daly. So this time Brian Mahalik comes out, and Daly's day is done. The tying run coming up in the form of Dane Frederick. He'll face Sam Pileggi. 6-4. Saints lead in the 7th inning. We'll get to the conclusion of this inning and potentially this game in just a moment. 2 outs last inning in game 1 of this doubleheader. St. Francis holds a 6-4 lead, and Judson's final hope with a man at first base is Dane Frederick. He's facing right-handed reliever Sam Pileggi. Pileggi, the freshman, is on for the 9th time. He's looking for his 4th save of the year. 1-1 with a 3.6 ERA. In 10 innings, he's allowed 5 runs, 4 of them earned on 7 hits with 14 strikeouts and 6 walks. His first pitch to Dane Frederick misses for ball 1. A home run here would tie the score. Frederick has 6 of them, which ranks second on the team. He takes a ball inside, 2-0. Judson struck first in this game, just 3 batters in. They were up 1-0, but St. Francis answered with 6 consecutive runs to take a 5-run advantage. There's a called strike, 2-1. So it was 6-1 early. Judson has scored the last 3 runs. And they have tightened this thing up, made it a ball game here in the 7th inning. 2-1 pitch. Low ball 3. If Frederick reaches base, the tying run will be on, with Tommy Moran set to bat next. 3 balls, 1 strike. Frederick lines it sharply into left field. Back-to-back base hits for the Eagles. Alex Spang and Dane Frederick have reached on singles. The tying run is aboard, and the batter is Tommy Moran. Gunnar Boley is the runner at second base. Boley the pinch runner for Spang. Dane Frederick now at first. Moran in the batter's box. He's 0 for 3 today. Foul tipped, straight back, strike 1. Ryan Daly went 6 2/3 innings, allowing 4 runs, thanks in large part to a pair of homers. He gave up 8 hits in his 6 2/3, had 8 strikeouts. Didn't walk anybody. Ball up and in. Moran got hit. Maybe that one grazed his shoulder. It looked like it just missed him, but Moran reacted immediately, tossing his bat aside. So apparently it did hit him, and the bases are loaded. So now not only the tying run, but the go-ahead run is on base for Judson. And the batter is Jared Krominga. Krominga has been on base twice today. He has singled and been hit by a pitch. He swings to the first one and fouls it back for strike 1. The runner at third base is Ryan Daly's responsibility, so his final stat line is not set just yet. The men at first and second belong to Sam Pileggi. And if either of them score, the Saints are in trouble. In the dirt, good block by Lasota, 1-1 on Krominga. Looked relatively straightforward coming into this inning. Saints were up 6-3. They just needed 3 more outs. But then a home run to lead off the inning for Benjamin Nelson tightened things up. Here's the 1-1. Fly ball into right center field. Luke Ketchum on the run, but he can't get there. It splits the gap. At least 2 runs are going to score easily. Tommy Moran around third base. Moran comes across the plate. A 3-run extra base hit for Jared Krominga, and Judson has come all the way back to take a 7-6 lead. Nelson homered to lead off the inning. That made it 6-4, but after that, Ryan Daly got the next 2 outs. And there were 2 outs with the bases empty. Saints needed to retire just 1 more hitter in order to get the victory. But 4 consecutive men have reached. 3 of them have scored, and Sam Pileggi could not get the job done today. He walks off the mound. He's replaced by John McGuire. And I'll step aside. Back in a moment with the conclusion of this inning. For the first time since the first inning, Judson has the lead at 7-6. There's a man at third base with 2 outs. Joshua Taylor coming up against the new St. Francis pitcher. Another freshman, John McGuire, on for the 11th time. He's 3-0 with a 3.38 ERA. In 26 2/3 innings, he's allowed 15 runs, 10 of them earned on 25 hits with 18 strikeouts and 5 walks. His first pitch is swung on and missed by Taylor. Taylor is 0 for 3, a couple of groundouts and a strikeout today. Jared Krominga's at third base, his 3-run triple with 2 outs. And his team's back against the wall has given Judson the lead. Taylor takes a strike, 0-2. McGuire trying to make quick work here of Joshua Taylor. He misses outside for a ball. This is John McGuire's second appearance in this game. Came on earlier as a pinch runner for Jake Lasota, and now being used as a moundsman. Fouled straight back by Taylor. Still 1-2. Saints had a 2-run lead in this inning with 2 outs and nobody on base. Alex Spang singled twice, actually, but only once that counted. Ball low and in, 2-2. Then Dane Frederick singled. Tommy Moran was hit by a pitch. And Jared Krominga hit a 3-run triple to right center field. Here's the 2-2. Popped foul and out of play to the right side. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes. Joe McGuire, Foster Heiss, and Dolan Nicholson are due to hit for St. Francis in the bottom of the 7th. The bottom of the 7th that they didn't think they were going to have to hit in. There's a ball outside. The count has gone full. Good at bat for Joshua Taylor. He was very quickly behind McGuire in this count, 0-2. And now he'll see an 8th pitch. 3-2. Swing and a miss. McGuire does end up getting him in the end. But what an inning for Judson. Down 6-3, down to their final 3 outs. They came back and scored 4 runs on 4 hits, including a triple and a home run. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Last chance now for the Saints. They trail 7-6. Bottom of the 7th inning, St. Francis trying to take game 1 of this doubleheader. They were in good position to do so, leading 6-1. But Judson has scored 6 unanswered runs, and now they're 3 outs away from a win as Kevin Navarez gets strike 1 over on Joe McGuire. McGuire is 2 for 3 with a home run. Trying to start a 7th inning rally, similar to the one that Judson just put together. Fouled back, 0-2. 7 runs, 9 hits, 2 errors for the Eagles. 6-11-0 for the Saints. Ball 1 on McGuire. Foster Heiss stands on deck. Kevin Navarez has thrown 3 1/3 innings so far, very effectively. McGuire lifts it to the right side, foul. And that's out of play. Just out of the reach of the first baseman, Taylor. Still 1-2. Judson scored 1 run in the first, 2 in the fifth, 4 in the seventh. For St. Francis, 2 runs in the first, 4 in the second. And nothing since, though they've had base runners every inning. McGuire takes the ball in the dirt, 2-2. Saints have left 6 runners on base. The Eagles have stranded 5. For the Saints, they've all come in the last 4 innings. 3 of them in scoring position. There's a line drive up the middle and a diving stop by the shortstop, Pauly, but he can't get the ball out of his glove. So it's an infield hit for Joe McGuire, his second one of those today. Off the bat, it looked like a hit. Pauly laid out, it looked like an out. And then he couldn't make the throw, it looked like a hit again. And that's what we settled on, a hit for McGuire. Tying runs on base. That's the 12th hit of the ball game for St. Francis. They have had at least 1 hit in every inning. We got a pinch runner over at first base. Scott Tumilty is in for Joe McGuire at first as Foster Heiss comes up to hit. Heiss is 0 for 3. He's grounded out and struck out twice. He's going to bunt here, and he bunts it foul for strike 1. That was an accidental bunt. In fact, I don't even think we could call it a bunt because I believe he had pulled the bat all the way back before he had hit it foul. He laid it out there, looking to drop it down, and then didn't like the pitch. He pulled the bat back, and it looked like the ball got the handle of the bat. And it ricocheted foul for a strike. Better than accidentally hitting the handle of the bat and then rolling into fair territory. All things considered, the Saints didn't get a bad result there. This time Heiss drops the bunt down, first base side. Picked up by Navarez, who throws it over to first base for the out. Tumilty advances to second base. 1 away for Dolan Nicholson. Nicholson is 1 for 3 with a single and a run scored. First pitch misses for ball 1. For a long time, it looked like the Saints were going to cruise to a victory here. Now they would be happy to force extra innings. Tying run over at second with 1 out. Nicholson slaps it foul to the left side, 1-1. Navarez sets. Here's the pitch. Fouled away again. Jake Lasota has had a big game. Lasota's on deck. Nicholson gets first crack, though, at bringing home this runner from second base. He's behind in the count, 1-2. Here's the pitch. A little bit high for a ball, 2-2. Since entering, Kevin Navarez has thrown 3 2/3 innings. He's allowed 5 hits, but they've all been singles. And he hasn't walked anybody. So no runs allowed. Ball 2, the Judson dugout, ball 3, the Judson dugout wouldn't have liked the call if it was ball 2 either, but they really don't like it right now. Yelling out, calling for that one to be strike 3 on Dolan Nicholson. Instead, the count goes full. Here's the payoff pitch. Nicholson fouls it back, just barely stays alive. This one has turned into an intense game here. A lot riding on every pitch. It was not this way all afternoon, but it has become so since the top of the 7th inning when Judson scored 4 runs and wrestled the lead away. Another foul ball by Nicholson as he chops this one off his foot. We'll see an 8th pitch from Navarez. This is one of the longer outings of the season for Navarez. Trying to make it through with the victory. 3-2. Fouled back again. There is a right-hander warming up in the bullpen just in case. This will be the 9th pitch of the at-bat to Nicholson. Little blooper to the right side, and a nice catch made at second base by Tommy Moran, who flips it back to second, trying to get the double play. It's not in time, but a great grab made by Moran for the second out. If that ball dropped, we may be looking at a tie score. Reached up at the exact right moment and snow-coned it. So now it's up to Jake Lasota. Lasota has not been retired today. He's 2 for 2 with 2 singles, a walk, and a run scored, at least for his pinch runner. He swings at the first one, lines it into right field. That drops for a hit. Tumulty around third base. Benjamin Nelson's throw from right is not in time, and we're tied at 7. With 2 outs in the top of the 7th inning, facing their final out, Judson was able to get a 3-run triple and take the lead. And now the Saints down to their final out in the bottom of the 7th inning. Have tied it up with an RBI single, and we will play on. Jake Lasota on base for the 4th time today. Comes through in the clutch with a big RBI base hit. For Lasota, that is the 27th RBI of the year. He's replaced at first by Eric Maffey. John McGuire had been his designated runner all game, but McGuire is the pitcher now, so Maffey becomes the pinch runner. And the batter is Sean Harper. Here on senior day, the senior outfielder trying to come up with a big hit to win the game for the Saints. The winning run is at first. Harper takes ball 1 low and in. Chopper foul to the left side, 1-1. Dolan Nicholson came up with a runner at second base, 1 out. He fought a 9-pitch at bat that ended in a nice catch on a little pop out to the second baseman Tommy Moran. Lasota jumped on the first pitch. Now Harper knocks one into left. He's got a single. 3rd hit of the inning for St. Francis. They're at first and second now with 2 down. Winning run just 2 bases out with Luke Ketchum coming up. And it looks like we'll see a pitching change. Kevin Navarez has been good, but he's been out there for a long time now. 4 innings into this appearance, closing in on his 60th pitch. And it looks like we're going to see a change to try to get this final out and send things into extra innings. A lot of twists and turns in this 7th inning. At the start of it, it looked like the Saints were going to have an easy win. And then a home run for Benjamin Nelson, and all of a sudden the Saints were worried. And then 2 quick outs recorded by Ryan Daly, and it looked like St. Francis was back in control. And then 4 straight base runners for Judson, in which they scored 3 runs and took the lead. And the Saints had their backs against the wall. Now they've scored they've tied it up. Looked like extra innings for a moment, and now with 2 runners on base, it looks like the Saints might have an opportunity to win this one right here in the regulation 7. Navarez remains in the game to face Luke Ketchum, who fouls off the first pitch for strike 1. Ketchum is 1 for 3 with an RBI and a run scored today. Navarez was visited by his manager, Mike Guilfoyle, but he stays in the game. Now the 0-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. It's 0-2. Navarez is 1 strike away from extra innings. Luke Ketchum, with good speed over at second, is most likely just 1 base hit away from winning the game. The 0-2. Fly ball into center field. Long run back for Frederick, but he's there. He makes the catch, and we will indeed play extras. A wild 7th inning. Both teams erase 2-out deficits, and we will head to the 8th with this thing tied up 7-7. It's the top of the 8th inning in a scheduled 7-inning contest. St. Francis lost a 6-3 lead in the top of the 7th, but they got 1 back in the bottom of the inning to force extras. John McGuire back to the mound. He faced 1 batter in the 7th inning and struck him out. Now he gets a clean inning, facing the 8, 9, and 1 hitters. And Alec McLennan backs out of the way of ball 1 up and in. McLennan is 0 for 3. He's flown to left, popped to short, and to first. McGuire winds up for the next pitch. Hit in the air to the right side, foul, and out of play. That makes it 1-1. Ryan Daly pitched 6 2/3 innings, and though his overall numbers won't show it, he actually pitched well. He was burned on a couple of home runs, and then another run scored against him after he departed. He ended up going 6 2/3, allowing 5 runs, all of them earned. Fouled back, 1-2 on McLennan. They went to Sam Pileggi out of the bullpen, and it was not his day. He faced 3 batters, all of them reached, 2 of them scored. So for Pileggi, 2 runs allowed in 0 innings pitched. McGuire's the 3rd pitcher of the game. He just misses for ball 2. After McLennan, it's Benjamin Nelson and then Adam Zaratsky. Ball 3 high, full count. Tie game in the 8th. You don't want to put the leadoff man aboard here. This is a big 3-2 pitch from McGuire. Line to the right side and over the head of Dolan Nicholson. Well, better than a walk for McGuire. He made McLennan earn it. He did. his first hit of the game. 10th for Judson. And there's a man on first base to lead off the inning. Here's Benjamin Nelson. Nelson is 2 for 3 with a single and a homer. 1 RBI, 2 runs. There's a bunt to third base. Picked up by Tesh, who throws to second and gets the force. Nicely done by Josh Tesh. McLennan is retired on the play, 5-4. A failed sacrifice on the fielder's choice. There's a man at first now with 1 away, although with that being Nelson, who failed to get the runner over, he may be standing at second base in a couple of moments anyway. I'd be shocked if he doesn't attempt to steal at some point in this at-bat with Adam Zaratsky in the box. Zaratsky swings at the first pitch and fouls it away for strike 1. Anytime you're not able to get the runner over on the bunt, you got to be on high alert for a steal attempt. And especially when that runner on base has got 24 steals and 26 attempts on the season. Ball low, 1-1 on Zaratsky, who's 1 for 4 today. Doubled and scored way back in the first inning. Since then, he has struck out twice and grounded out. The 1-1 misses low. It's 2-1. John McGuire, right-handed, freshman, pitcher slash infielder, misses low for the ball. Nelson does go, and he steals second easily. Not a good throw from Lesota, but even if it had been, no chance to get Nelson, who got a good jump and picked the right pitch to run on. The count is 3-1, and there is a man at second base. McGuire's next pitch, grounded to the left side, sliding stop by Carraro, and he has no play. An infield single for Adam Zaratsky. Nice job by Carraro knocking that ball down, though. He does not allow Nelson to advance from second base. So that keeps a force in play at third, and it keeps the go-ahead run away from third base, at least for now. Zaratsky is aboard. Here's Cameron Pauly. 1 out in the inning. Pauly is 1 for 4 with a 2-run homer. It was his 4th this year. He smashes one foul to the right, strike 1. And that brings Brian Mahalik out of the dugout to talk with John McGuire. Not sure if he's looking at making a change here. There is a pitcher warming up in the bullpen. And it looks like he is going to make that change mid-at-bats. They'll make the call to Colin Kelly. So pitching change here in the top of the 8th. We're tied at 7 here on the USF Sports Network. We're in extra innings here in Joliet, tied at 7. Judson has runners at first and second base with 1 out. The new pitcher is Colin Kelly. Kelly on for the 9th time. He has no record, a 3.54 ERA. In 20 and a third innings, he's allowed 12 runs, 8 of them earned on 20 hits, with 15 strikeouts and 13 walks. He comes in with an 0-1 count already on Cameron Pauly. Pauly, the left-handed batter, takes the next one over the outside corner for strike 2. I always wonder the rationale behind making a pitching change mid-at-bat. It was a hard-hit ball by Pauly, but it was a foul ball. Strike 1. McGuire was in good shape in this at-bat. Just wonder what could have happened on that one pitch that forced Brian Mahalik to make the change that he didn't see before Pauly had come up to the plate. In any case, it's Colin Kelly's ball game now. McGuire went 2/3 of an inning, gave up 2 hits. Ball inside, 1-2. Judson was down by 5 with just 7 outs still to play with. Ball low and away, 2-2. They scored 6 runs in the span of those 7 outs, forced extra innings, and now they've got a chance to take the lead with runners at first and second and only 1 out. 2-2 pitch, bounced foul, still 2-2. It's a beautiful afternoon here in Joliet. Might as well play a little extra baseball here in the first game. Inside, and Pauly got hit, or did it hit the bat? Nope, hit him. So a hit by pitch has loaded the bases. That's the 3rd batter to be hit by a pitch from a St. Francis pitcher today. Ryan Daly hit one, Sam Pileggi hit one, and now Colin Kelly has joined the club. And they're loaded with only 1 out. For the hottest hitter in the lineup, Alec Spang. Spang's got 3 more hits today to raise his average above 400. He came in at 398. He's 3 for 4. The only at bat he didn't get a hit, it was an RBI ground out. Ball 1 on Spang. Well, they'd love to see a ground out right here, the Saints. Spang does not run well. Anything hit on the ground could very easily end the inning. He swings and misses. It's 1-1. Colin Kelly is ready for the 1-ball, 1-strike pitch. Now it's 2 balls and 1 strike. Kelly's had some control issues this year. 13 walks in only 20 and a third innings pitched. Obviously something you have to be mindful of when the bases are loaded in a critical spot like this. 1 walk and your team is losing. He's already hit a batter today. 2nd of the season. Spang swings and misses. It's 2-2. If he can get Spang right here, it'll only be the 2nd out, but it'll be a huge one because you get this hot-hitting catcher on the bench. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Spang strikes out swinging. Nope, he got a piece of it. Just tipped it. He stays alive. So a good at bat here for the sophomore catcher. This will be pitch number 6 from Kelly. Ball 3. The count is full. Outs have been so difficult to come by lately for the Fighting Saints. Nothing is easy. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Spang. And he fouls it to the right. He'll see an 8th pitch. Great at bat here from a very good hitter, one of the top hitters in the conference. 3-2. Chopped foul. Spang is the team leader with 38 RBIs. He's trying to add to that total by at least one right here. This will be the 9th pitch of the sequence. Spang hits it on the ground to the right side, backhanded by McGuire. Throws to second for one. The relay throw. He got him. 3-6-1 double play. And for as many things as Spang does well offensively, he does not run well. That was a slowly developing play, but the Saints were able to turn two anyway. A great defensive effort by St. Francis to send things to the bottom of the 8th with the score still tied 7-7. Bottom 8, Saints and Eagles tied at 7. A chance for St. Francis to take game one of this doubleheader here with a run. The top of the order due up. Travis Schoonover, Noah Carraro, and Josh Tesh. Schoonover leads things off and takes ball one inside. New pitcher for Judson. Zach Rojas is on the mound, 7th appearance of the season. Rojas has no record and a 6.14 ERA. In 7 1/3 innings, he's allowed 5 runs on 7 hits with 8 strikeouts and 3 walks. He misses low and in on Schoonover, and the count is 2-0. This is by far the longest at bat of the game for Travis Schoonover, who had been 1 for 4, swinging early in the count in every at bat. He drills this one to the right side, and the catch is made off the deflection by Joshua Taylor, 1 away. That ball smoked by Schoonover right to Taylor, who reached his glove up. Couldn't put the squeeze on it initially, but he tapped it up in the air, and nice hand-eye coordination for Taylor as he was able to catch it on the rebound. Did not allow that ball to hit the ground. Good play. 1 out. Here's Noah Carraro, who's had a perfect game at the plate. Carraro and Jake Lasota have been the offensive stars today for the Saints as Noah takes a ball. 2 of them have combined to reach base 8 times in 8 trips. Noah Carraro 4 for 4 with 3 singles and a 2-run homer. He takes a ball outside. The count is 2-0. Zach Rojas is the 3rd pitcher of the game for Judson. He misses outside. 3 balls and no strikes. Kevin Navarez went 4 1/3 innings. Only allowed 1 run. But it came at a critical moment with the game on the line in the 7th inning. 3-0 pitch. He walked him. Carraro reaches base for the 5th time today. Quite a game for the 4th-year shortstop. Here's Josh Tesh. He's been relatively quiet today. 0 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. There's a throw to first base to check on Carraro. 10 steals on the season for Carraro. He's been caught twice, including once today. Rojas checks on him again. That ball nearly bounced away from Joshua Taylor. Josh Tesh entered play today as the team's 2nd leading hitter at .350. Only John McGuire was ahead of him, but McGuire had fewer than half the at-bats of Tesh. Popped up behind home plate and out of play. Strike 1. Tesh also leads the team with 32 RBIs. Here's the 0-1. Throw to first instead. Rojas preoccupied with the base runner. See if Josh Tesh can use that to his advantage. He's spending more time worried about the runner on base than the man in the box. Tesh tries to check his swing, but he went around. Strike 2. Nothing in 2 the count as Brandon Van Buren heads down the right field line to warm up in Judson's bullpen. The 0-2 inside and nearly hit him. Tesh was able to get out of the way. The count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. Rojas is ready to deal. Tesh ropes it up the middle, a base hit. Noah Carraro moves up to 2nd base. Tesh has his first hit of the ball game. That's hit number 15 of the day for the Fighting Saints. They have at least 1 hit in all 8 innings. And now they've got a chance to win the game. Joe McGuire's already got a home run today. He's 3 for 4. And he doesn't need any big hit right here. Good speed at 2nd. Anything to the outfield that drops will likely win the game for St. Francis. Zach Rojas is set. McGuire digs in. Rojas having some trouble getting on the same page with Alex Spang. He's finally ready to throw the first pitch. And McGuire takes ball 1. Joe McGuire's 2-out, 2-run homer back in the 1st inning gave St. Francis their first lead after they trailed 1-0. That put them ahead 2-1. They eventually built the lead up to 6-1. But here we are in the 8th inning, tied 7-7. There's a called strike, 1-1. Starting pitcher today for Judson was Tommy Louch. Louch struggled with his control. Ran into all kinds of problems early on in the game. He was removed for Kevin Navarez, who was much better. Allowed only 1 run in 4 1/3 innings. 1-1. Up and in, ball 2. Winning run is over at 2nd base. There's somebody at first as well. He doesn't matter as much. Got to get that run in from second. That's all that counts right now. 7-7 tie in the bottom of the 8th inning. Rojas takes another long look in at Spang, now finally set. The 2-1 pitch. McGuire bounces it to the left side of the infield. Picked up by the shortstop. Cameron Pauly throws to second and gets it there just ahead of Josh Tesh for out number 2. Nice play by Pauly. That ball was not hit hard by McGuire, but right between McLennan and Pauly. Couldn't quite find the hole. Pauly makes a nice effort to get Tesh at second, but Carraro advances to third base, which means not only a hit, but right now a wild pitch or a passed ball would end the game in St. Francis's favor. Foster Heiss is the batter, trying to deliver the winner with 2 outs. And we may see a pitching change first. Left-hander ready in the bullpen, left-handed bat coming up. It looks like we will see Brandon Van Buren to face Foster Heiss. Mike Guilfoyle taking a long, slow walk to the mound, perhaps to give Van Buren a little extra time to warm up. He's taking as much time as he possibly can on the mound right now, but the call has been made. So Van Buren, ready or not, is coming into this game. Runners at the corners, 2 outs. Bottom of the 8th inning, the Saints and the Eagles are tied at 7. Back with more in just a moment. Noah Carraro stands at third base with 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th inning. Foster Heiss coming to bat, trying to bring home the game-winning run. As Brandon Van Buren comes in to pitch, the 8th appearance of the year for Van Buren. He's 0-1 with a 1.08 ERA. In 8 1/3 innings, he's allowed 5 runs, 1 of them earned on 10 hits with 3 walks. He has struck out 9. Van Buren, the junior southpaw, sets for his first pitch to Heiss. Over the inside corner, strike 1. Foster Heiss is 0 for 3 today. He's grounded out, struck out twice, and he's dropped down a sacrifice bunt. The 0-1 pitch. Ball inside with the runner on the move. Joe McGuire takes second base unchallenged. It's a positive for the Saints. It takes the force out of play at second base, but The Eagles know his run doesn't matter. The game is at third base right now. The 1-1. Foster Ice takes the ball off the glove of the catcher, Alex Spang. Noah Carraro crosses the plate, and the Saints win it on a passed ball in extra innings. 8-7 is our final score. The pitch was high, but not uncatchable for Alex Spang. It popped right out of his glove. Carraro read it all the way. As soon as it got away from Spang, he was off and running. And he comes across the plate with the game winner. 8-7, the final score in a wild game. A game that seemed pretty straightforward, actually, through 6 innings. And the last couple made it one to remember. Saints led 6-1. Judson came back, took the lead away, but St. Francis tied it in the 7th, and they get the win in the 8th inning, with Noah Carraro fittingly scoring the game-winning run, fittingly because of the incredible game that he had. He reached base 5 times, hit his first career home run, and he scores the game winner on the passed ball in extras. Let's go back over the scoring in this one. It started very early on. The leadoff batter of the game, in fact, Adam Zaratsky, hit a double off the left field wall. He moved to third on a flyout and scored on a ground out to make it 1-0 Judson. That lead didn't last very long. St. Francis scored 2 in the bottom of the first. With 2 outs and nobody on, Josh Tesh walked. Joe McGuire hit a 2-run homer. And then the Saints added 4 more runs in the second inning. Dolan Nicholson singled. Jake Lasota walked. Luke Ketchum picked up an RBI base hit. And then Noah Carraro hit a 2-run homer. That made it a 6-2. In fact, I didn't mention there was an error earlier in the inning as well that scored John McGuire, who was pinch running for Jake Lasota. I hope you kept up with all of that. But Noah Carraro's 2-run homer made it a 6-1 score. Ryan Daly was cruising. Looked like it was going to be an easy win for St. Francis. Daly did run into a little bit of trouble in the 5th inning. Gave up a 2-out, 2-run homer to Cameron Pauly that made it 6-3, but he bounced back from that. Came into the 7th inning looking for a complete game. That's when Benjamin Nelson hit a solo homer. That made it 6-4. Daly bounced back, got back-to-back outs, and was 1 out away from the complete game victory. That's when Alex Spang stepped up with a single to keep the inning alive. Sam Pileggi came out of the bullpen, but it was not his day. Dane Frederick singled. Tommy Moran was hit by a pitch, and the bases were loaded in a 2-run game with 2 outs for Jared Krominga, who shot a triple into the right center field gap, scoring 3 runs and giving Judson the 7-6 lead. Saints were not done fighting yet. In the bottom of the 7th inning, Joe McGuire hit a leadoff single. He moved up to second on a Foster Heist bunt, and with 2 outs in the inning, Jake Lasota came up with a game-tying RBI base hit. That sent us to extras. In the top of the 8th, Judson loaded the bases with 1 out, but Alex Spang, who already had 3 hits today, grounded into a 3-6-1 double play, and that ended that Judson threat. Then to the bottom of the 8th, Noah Carraro walked. Josh Tesh singled. On a fielder's choice, Carraro advanced to third base. He stood there with 2 outs for Foster Heist, who didn't have to do much. Heist stood in the batter's box. He took 3 straight pitches, the third of which popped out of the glove of Alex Spang. The passed ball allowed Carraro to score and make it an 8-7 St. Francis win. And I'll tell you, Spang had a great game, 3 hits and an RBI. But the 8th inning was disastrous for him. With the bases loaded, he grounded into the double play, and then it was his passed ball that ended up finishing proceedings here in Game 1. Our final totals for Judson: 7 runs, 11 hits, 2 errors. For St. Francis, 8 runs, 15 hits, no errors. The winning pitcher, Colin Kelly, out of the bullpen for St. Francis, and the losing pitcher is Zach Rojas. For Judson, Rojas falls to 0-1 on the season. Colin Kelly picks up his first decision as well. He's 1-0. Game 2 of this doubleheader will start probably just after 3 o'clock Central Time, so make sure you're back with us for that as the Saints try to make it a twin bill sweep. Again, the final score in Game 1 is 8-7. Game 2 will be back in about a half hour. Until then, it's Terry Bonadonna here signing off for the moment. Talk to you soon.